So Bitcoin is going sideways for a bit, but if you zoom out, you will see the signs right in front of you. This is telling us that this bull run is far from over and that we are going to see some explosive gains. So this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Ethereum, Cardano, and altcoins in general. So this is stuff you will want to watch if you're holding any altcoins. So welcome back, everybody. My name is Cristiano, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and also activate the bell right now. So let's talk about Bitcoin. It's going sideways, but just like I said, if you zoom out, you will be able to spot the signs, because right now the traditional markets are at an all-time high. You can see that a huge green candle was printed here, and I think this is on the back of the Fed. I believe yesterday they said that they don't see a interest rate hike anytime soon. So this of course told people that you should go out and buy assets, because there's still going to be, you know, a supply of cheap money available. And yeah, so these shot up to the roof. But Bitcoin is, I mean, it's still, if you compare to the S&P 500 traditional markets, it's still not having that massive pump compared to the S&P 500. Now you have to look at this just like when you look at the chart. When you look at the price action, of course it has had that pump, because if you look to the left here, you can see the bottom of the S&P 500 was at about $2,000, and if you look at to the top here, it's at 4,400. So this whole run here, the blue line, which is the S&P 500, was about 100%, which is not bad. But if you look at the same thing with Bitcoin on the right, it's, let's call it $4,000, and let's call it $60,000. That's more than a 10x. That's like a 13x or so. But what I want to show you is, if you outline the chart of the S&P 500 and on the Bitcoin chart, they tend to follow each other. So they tend to follow themselves roughly, especially in 2020. You know, since the COVID crash here, they have been going up pretty simultaneously, but then Bitcoin just goes on these insane runs, like right here, and Bitcoin went from $20,000 up to $65,000. But since then, Bitcoin had a correction. Of course, Bitcoin started to go down. This is something I think everyone are aware of. You're in Bitcoin right now. You're probably aware of this correction here from $64,000 down to $30,000. Went sideways. But the S&P 500 continued to do well while Bitcoin was seeing that slump. So I'm going to zoom out again. What has happened when the S&P 500 has outperformed Bitcoin in the short term? Well, it has led into massive pumps. Look at this in 2018 even. I mean, the S&P 500 was going up, okay? And then both of them went down here actually. But then Bitcoin just went on this massive run. This was from $3,000 up to $13,000. So it started to heavily outperform the S&P 500. Then it goes down for a bit. The S&P 500 is doing pretty well. You have the COVID crash. They go up simultaneously. But Bitcoin then just has this insane pump here, and it just destroys the S&P 500. Same here in 2017, I should say. So if I draw it like that, you can see that they are kind of following each other here. But then Bitcoin just goes from $1,000 up to $20,000 in 2017. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that the S&P 500 is looking good right now. And yeah, Bitcoin has proven us, history has proven us time and time again, that Bitcoin tends to go on an extreme run and just destroy the S&P 500. And that's pretty much aligned with what we have been expecting here as well, because we believe it's a double pump market. We have the signs, we have all of that. I've been showing you throughout the videos. You know, the Fibonacci levels I've been showing you right here. Let's go to the weekly time frame. In every single bull run, we have had that correction down to the 1.618, this blue level right here. You know, we had it right here, the previous bull run. And also you had it the run before that. So we go down to the 1.618. This time we did it right there, we did it right here, and a lot of people were panicking when we did the exact same thing right here. People were shorting here at $30,000, expecting $10,000, but this just was a repeat of what we usually see. And from this point, we usually see a massive pump. So we will see, guys. We will see if that's going to be the case. This is what the TA is telling us. This is what the fundamentals is telling us. And yeah, we will just have to wait and see. Let's quickly move on. Ethereum. I believe that Ethereum still has a massive pump in it. I think that this is going to do extremely well. We just need to clear this orange box. And this has been proven to be very strong resistance, just like we've been expecting. But once we clear this, I mean, I'm going to keep you updated, but right now it's just going sideways. There's nothing interesting right here. But once we break this, believe me, you will want to be ready. So I'm going to update you. If you want to get those updates, make sure to subscribe and activate the bell. And for Cardano, I have figured out the next level of resistance for Cardano. It's going to be here at $3.40. You can see that we did make a push yesterday. We did make a push to get above this orange line here at $2.83. And we tried to support it 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. We're slightly below it right now. You can see that this green candle right here is trying to get above it right now. We will see if we will be able to close this 4-hourly candle above this level. But once smart contract launches on Cardano, expect massive volatility. If there's going to be a sell the news event, well, expect at least $2.32. But we can crush this $3.42 level, I should say, if we have a positive effect once smart contract starts to launch. We don't know the direction, but we do know that we're going to have that volatility. So be prepared for that. Let's quickly talk about altcoins. So when we were down here at the altcoin index of 6%, I told you that this is the time you will want to be buying altcoins. You want to buy altcoins down here. You want to ride it to the upside. Now, of course, you already know some of the altcoins I am focusing on right now. You're having a dip right now in rainy coins. So for those of you who did not manage to catch this massive pump when I talked about this the latest time, well, maybe now is the time to consider getting in. Not financial advice. If you get completely wrecked, that's completely up to you. But this is a coin I do believe is going to do well. You did have a dip in Telos, so you did have a dip here from 47 cents. It corrected down to 38, so you did have the opportunity to get in here as well if you missed this previous massive pump right here. But now it's already starting to get up again, and yeah, it's trying to break its previous all-time high again. So these two coins, and some people are asking me like, how should we think about altcoins? How do we find these altcoins early? So like Solana is doing extremely well right now, and I do believe it's going to still continue to do extremely well, but a lot of big YouTubers have started to talk about Solana and on Twitter and such. And I mean, that's fine. I do believe Solana is going to do well, but the time you would want to get into Solana was early, like when it was at $10, $15 here. This is where you wanted to get into Solana. Generally, you want to be careful when something is really, really hyped, and when something is just going sideways and the writing was on the wall that this was probably going to do extremely well, well, it was a no-brainer. Like I talked about Solana 6 months ago and also 4 months ago, even earlier than this on my other channel, the Casa Satoshi. So for some of these coins, the writings are just on the wall. And which are the coins I believe is going to do well here in the next couple of weeks or months? Well, I do believe that Avalanche, despite the massive surge, I think it's going to continue to do well. But the thing is, if this is going to jump up here, it has to be at the expense of some of the other coins above it. And I do believe that Stellar, Ethereum Classic, they are probably going to see a leg down here. And that Avalanche and other coins are going to continue to take market share. So also a coin I believe is going to do well, Terra. I think Terra is going to continue to do well. So Terra and Avalanche, I do believe is going to have a couple of legs up here. Bitcoin Cash probably going to continue to trend down. Litecoin probably going to continue to trend down as well. Not financial advice, but that's just my opinion with the research we've been doing and such. So I do believe that these two coins, Avalanche and Terra, is going to continue to do well. Solana, of course, as well, Polkadot. And yeah, and when I say that it has to be in the expense of others, like if Avalanche is going to get into the top 10, of course, it has to take someone else's place. It doesn't mean that, like when I said that I think Litecoin is going to trend down here, I don't mean in USD value. I mean, this can still be at $200 if the whole market goes up and still be outside of the top 20. So, you know, I'm not talking about it doing bad. I'm just saying that I believe that some coins are going to outperform the others. Anyway, I'm going to continue to try to bring you these coins, whether they are big or not. I will try to dig deep. I will try to bring you that information both with smaller coins and bigger coins. Thank you so much for watching. And oh, before we wrap this up, guys, as you know, this week we are in the giving mode. So if you want to make some donations to your favorite charity, of course, make sure to do that. If you have the ability to do so, why not try to save some lives? I'm donating to this specific charity here. So yeah, I will link this in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.